Everyone, welcome back to a new video on how to install the most essential apps on your Mac coming from Windows. So let's get started. So in this video I'll show you 4 essential utilities that you need to install. Starting from the first is Crystal Idea Mac fan control. So you just download it and unzip the things. So in the Mac you have this application folder, another utility that supports a lot of files from 7-zip to Z standard and even broadly as well. So I'll just be covering it in the later part. So I'll just extract it. So after extraction you have to move this to this application section. Since I've already installed it, so anyway you'll get a prompt that if it is unsigned, not signed by Apple, you'll see that a prompt that is okay to continue or deny it. So once you have added the things, let me just open the desktop once again, and so you can just keep them both or just stop or replace the earlier one. So this involves a lot of clicks and the keyboard navigation. So if you're coming from Windows or Linux, I get it. So yeah, once you've done it, you'll see an icon here. You'll see a lot of permissions being asked. So essentially it requires a startup permission. So if you want to run it at every startup, or based on the options what you have selected. So auto start will add an auto start task, and you can check off these NVMe and SATA drives that are connected via Thunderbolts, and even the external drives as well. Even eGPUs are supported, and you can just add your favorite sensor to the tab, what is called status bar or menu bar. So that's what it's called. And so what I've done is usually it is by default uses for automatic, but if you want, since this is a freeware version, so you can have a constant RPM value or sensor based value. You can set it to airport. Airport is nothing but your Wi-Fi temperature. So I usually set it to the core average. So if you do a lot of GPU based task or rendering, you can just switch to the cluster average, and then the maximum temperature and the minimum temperature where the fan should spin up. So once it is done, it will be done, but make sure do note that you can't save it because you need to purchase the license. So that's the only thing that is missing in the freeware version. So you have to do set it up every startup or any setting, so it's just not persistent and it gets discarded on every reboot. It will switch to auto. So you can quit it as well. So there are 2 options, that is you can quit it from the menu bar, then you can just do option Q, and everything will be exited. So the entire process is just evicted from the memory. So this is another app. So in case if you have a keyboard or mouse that is made for game specific mouse, that is esports optimized mouse, and it is not working as expected, so you can try your Karabiner Elements. So I tried it on my Keychron just to remap the home and end button. It seems it didn't work for me. Then another useful application is MX Power Agent. So I'll add all the links in the description so that it is easy to download. So I just I've seen a lot of YouTubers use this Power Gadget. So it will also ask for system level permissions to. This is the HWINFO of Windows on Mac. So it is almost accurate. I think you can, if you have seen Mac fan utilities, even it that has the exact temperature value. So this one has a lot more additional things, including the exact frequency of the SoC, including CPU and GPU, and you have the power package level, CPU level, and then the GPU. Currently everything is below 4 watts, which is strange because if I have OBS running with the voice isolation now, utilization will be almost 80%. I guess might be inaccurate. I'll be doing a thorough review in a future video with what Peter Julia based benchmarking to find out the exact package power. So this that will be in a new video. I'll make it separately. So in this application you have only a few options. So by default it does not show E core and P core, so you can just show that, and under general you can just touch in this temperature SI unit to Celsius or Fahrenheit. So I usually use metric, so it is degrees Celsius. So this is another alternative to 7-zip or p-zip. So if you want a Mac optimized version, so this supports a lot of formats similar to 7-zip if you have used Windows or Linux. I've tried ISO, it didn't work for me. ISO of Windows 11 25H2, so it didn't work. But yeah, I mean most of the older archived files, even password protected, which are in my external drive, they worked fine. This also has a paid version. If you go to the iOS or the App Store, so this is $5.99. I think it is $6 for me. Maybe in the US it will be around $3 to $5 at max. It is the same app, but you have some additional things. It does not work. I mean, for me it works fine, and I'll also be doing something in crossover. I just got it with a YouTuber discount. I found a discount code of 15%. I just bought it. So yeah, it was mainly intended to try out the retro games. I'll do a future video on that. So to try it out, you can put the Keka app. So when you first open it, by default it will be zip file. You'll have these options. So I've just selected 7-zip. So anything that can be compressed, it will be 7-zip. So if you want the self-extracting archive for Windows, that is, it will do a exe. If you and people who don't have 7-zip installed, it will just unpack the compressed file and uncompress it. So without even having 7-zip installed, and you can select or delete the original files that are after compression, or archive each item separately. So these are the options what I've selected. So you can actually select if you handle a lot of text files, you can switch it to broadly. And if you do, this is Vim DMG is the container format for Mac. ISO is just used for bootable DVDs or USB flash drive. Snappy, I have not used it. There is something called Z standard. So Z standard is if you have a lot of mixed files, that is text, video, images of various sizes, and you want a very efficient compression that does not take a long time, but also compressed to a small file within less time. So let me just find a file to be compressed. Let me just download it. Okay, I'll just download the same DMG file. So these are all DMG file by default. So Mac includes the archive utility that is based on X archive. If you have used Linux. So it will just give you a .app file. So this is a universal app. Usually, due to my familiarity with using 7-zip, so usually I create a folder to extract it. So that's the reason I just went with Keka. So let me just compress it. I think this went with the original X archive. Let me do it. You'll see something called the compress with Keka here. So it will ask for permission. There should be a context menu. So you have to download this context menu as well, so that it sees it as a default application, and then you will have a new context menu. You can do compress here. With the Z standard, you'll see that the file size is very small now. That is if you have selected Z standard as the default archiving format. So usually I select a 7-zip. You'll see that it takes a long time if you don't have a powerful enough CPU. Yeah. So you'll see that on a Z standard, the decompress speed is very high. It will be instantaneous compared to 7-zip. So Z standard is optimized for faster decompressing and compression speed. You can just tweak the things as well. So there should be something slow. You can just put the slider to more compression, so it will take a longer time. But yeah, in my testing, normal is just fine, and the anything to the right, it takes too much time, and you only save few KB or few megabytes of space for the extra compute what we give. I think that is it for this video. I think it has become slightly longer than I expected. So thanks for watching. Bye.